I'm going to demonstrate the Spring 2017 CCS Interactive Maps Capstone project. So first things first, we'll go to our web browser here and go to the website. The website is right there. You can see OregonShareMap.ccsresearch.org. Upon going to this website, everything will load in, and here we can see the Interactive Maps project. Up here we have the Hart Allocation Map title and the U of L Engineering School emblem. Here's the map. We can see right now that the statistic it is currently showing is the number of transplants. There is a legend here that shows you what color shows what number of transplants. And here we can see the actual map with different colors showing us which regions had more transplants, like Southern California, and which ones had much fewer, like Iowa or New Mexico. Over here, we can see the statistic that is currently being shown. We can see the national average for this statistic, and we can see the DSA averages, which are not shown right now because we haven't clicked on any one of these DSAs. Here we can see what year we are looking at, and down here we can see statistics for specific transplant centers. So like the University of Alabama is showing these statistics. If I go up to the map here and click on one of these regions, like Southern California, we will zoom in on this region to get a better look. We can see all of the transplant centers in this region, and down here we can see much more detailed information. We can see which DSA this is, CAOP, the statistic being shown, the number of transplants, and the year, 2014. And then below this we can see various graphs showing us detailed information about this region. We can see for the past 25 years or so the number of transplants that took place in this region. As you can see, the trend has gone upward. We can see the breakdown for the year 2014 of male to female transplants, 38.2% female and 61.8% male. Under the age distribution here, we can see the number of transplants that took place for each age range. So people 60 to 74 years old had the most transplants. They made up the majority. And over here we can see the distribution of transplants by status. So patients on the transplant list are assigned a different status level. Patients with status level 1A received the most transplants, 1B was much lower than that, and 2 was lower than that. And then unknown status was also very high. If I click on this region again, I can zoom back out, and I can go check out another region, say Georgia. We see the same graphs show up for Georgia, but values specific to this region. Over here, under DSA averages, we can see the basic number for all of the basic statistics. So the number of transplants was 175, the number of donors in this region was 152, and the number of candidates on the waiting list in the year 2014 was 115. We can also see things like the transplant probability, which was 60% in this time, and the average cold ischemia time was 4.61 hours for this region. I can also zoom in on a region and then click on the regions next to it to move around quickly. If I show Kentucky, I can click on a specific transplant center, so the University of Kentucky Medical Center, and this report will pop up over here for that transplant center. The probability of a transplant candidate receiving a donor heart at this location as of 2014 was 33.75%. In 2014, there were 53 people on the waiting list, and for this year, the number of people that died within 3 years of receiving a transplant was 7, and the number of people that died within 5 years was 15. I can select a different year, say 2011, and we can see the statistics update for this region as well as the transplant center update. We can see that the probability of receiving a transplant in 2011 was actually a little bit higher. If I zoom back out, we can see that the entire map has updated based on the year. If I change the year again, 2010, we are shown a new map. If we go all the way back to 1993, we can see a very different map. If I change the number of statistics, we will see a different map entirely as well. If I change the number of donors, now this map is very similar. If we go to average cold ischemia time, we can see that the average ischemia time was fairly low for the entire nation in 2014. If we go back to 2009, we can see different regions colored in. If we look at the average age of a donated heart, we can see that the average age for this area was between 30 and 40, whereas the Midwest and Southern Midwest, it's between 20 and 30. I can also change the year for these stats to view different information. Also, changing statistic changes the graphs that are shown when zoomed in on a region. If I zoom in on Eastern Pennsylvania, I can see that the number of donors, there were no donors in this region until after 2000, and then there were quite a few. The donors were 100% male in this region in 2013, and the age distribution of donors is shown here. Finally, I don't have to click on the map to find a transplant center. I can go over here to this drop-down box and scroll down, and I can find specific hospitals. So the Jewish Hospital in Louisville, Kentucky, I can see a specific transplant center report for that hospital. So that is the Interactive Maps project. Thank you for watching.